Hey, what's up everyone? The new CEO, Sham Georgiani, has recently addressed several questions regarding weapon balancing, dev streams, and various difficulty modes. It's been confirmed that the update is not coming out this week. Additionally, there's a new glitch circulating around the XO-49 Emancipator mech. Not only that, but we'll also discuss a new glitch circulating around the XO-49er Emancipator mech. If you find the information interesting, don't forget to show some love by giving the video a thumbs up. Let's begin by taking a look at the very first question that the new CEO, Sham Georgiani, was asked. Right here, this user says, what kind of timeline can we expect the patches and updates to come along? Before, they were pretty frequent. Is it going to turn to being like once a month or so, assuming nothing goes wrong? Will Warbonds remain once a month or become bi-monthly or so on? Now, before we do continue on with the CEO's response, I do want to let you guys know, if you do see this right above that says Arrowhead Developer, just know that he is the CEO, not the developer. But with that being said, this is his response. Thanks. I think we should be able to be a bit more transparent around our plans. In the future, I think we should be able to do better than sorry no patch on the day of the expected patch. While there might be a good reason for it today, everyone at Arrowhead wants the Warbonds to be as good as humanly possible, and we've received the feedback on the latest one loud and clear. Then the CEO continues on to answer a similar question, but goes into detail about some threats and why they haven't been able to answer certain questions on the Discord. For example, right here, he says, I think it's super valid for us to communicate more, even if it's just sorry, no new patch. A reason why you've heard a bit less from some of us is actually the amount of threats we've been getting. So I really want to try to set a new tone and a way of talking to each other. For Super Earth. Speaking of the next patch, the community manager has confirmed that the update is not going to arrive this week for sure, and this is his response. The patch is still in the works, it's not going to be out this week. Now, as you can tell, this is his official statement, and this right here is a community manager, a Lithian, and yeah, not a bad community manager, just does not talk as often as the rest do. Now, of course, that might be because of the threats and all the other issues going on behind the scenes. Moving along, the next question that was asked can be found right here. This user wrote, where do you feel the team generally sits on this? Are their opinions as varied as the player base, or is there a general consensus? How do you personally think of a big problem like weapon balance? The new Arrowhead CEO responded with, we think there's room for improvement. I don't. We generally think the balance is the best it's ever been at. I would like shorter TTK personally. I play Battlefield on HC servers if that tells you anything. And by the way, for those that do not know what TTK means, it means time to kill. Anyways, the next question is about Sony, and this user wrote, Sony has made some decisions that cost a lot of trust in their community for Helldivers. How do you plan to rebuild that trust, and perhaps more importantly, how will you protect this game from overly predatory corporate practices? Sham Georgiani responded with, together with Sony, it's the only way. And some of you may not like that answer because in the past I have read some comments where some of you have said, hey, this new CEO is going to fail us, he's going to bend his knee for Sony, and he's not going to do anything. So with that, this right here, you might say, oh yeah, this pretty much confirms it, that he's just going to go with Sony and not do a thing. I couldn't tell you, but take that answer for what it is, and let's move along and take a look at the next question. Now, there was a question about the Paradox games, and I mean, he did receive some backlash on this, I suppose. I have never played a Paradox game, so I really cannot tell you what's going on here, but this is what he said in response. I really don't agree with you. Buy any grand strategy game on discount, frequently happens, and never buy a DLC. You still get hundreds, if not thousands of hours gameplay. How is that not the best value in the business? The DLC is a 99% optional. Then someone else responded saying, this is a joke, right? Playing a Paradox game without any DLC feels like I'm playing the demo. What I would like for you guys to do is share your opinions, your thoughts on this. If you have played a Paradox game, is this true? What are your thoughts on this response? Tell me down below in the comments. What we have next is a question about dev streams or dev videos. Is the developers or the CEO willing to give us something for free with all the issues? And this is his response. Dev videos, yes. Timelines, I think we will be able to be more transparent on this whole holding some surprises back once we get things in order a bit more. Goodwill, agreed. I'll poke around and see if we can do a small bone throw. The trick is, of course, such systems can be abused, and suddenly the future swells in scope. What are your thoughts on something free? Would you like this to be a possibility? And speaking of free, I wonder when we're going to receive that new community cape. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, I'll throw an image right here. There's also another similar question here about dev streams or live streams, and the CEO said this, 100% gonna happen. So for sure, we have been talking about this for quite some time. And we do know the developers or the CEO is planning on doing some sort of stream. We do know it's sometime in the winter, so sometime in the fall we should see something. Continuing forward, the next question here is about weapons that are overperforming and underperforming. This user asks, if you could pick one weapon that you think is overperforming and one weapon that is currently underperforming, which would those be? Mr. Giorgiani responded with, underperforming, the whole Liberator line. Personally, I'd likely expand the mags a bit. Overperforming? Right now, nothing that I've played with feels OP. This right here, I'm sure a lot of us can agree that there is a lot of weapons that are underperforming, and it's not just the Liberator line because there are some other weapons that definitely need a mag increase. And I wonder if that's something that we will see in the next update, considering that he did mention that that is something he would like to see expanded on. So, interesting. He also talks about overperforming, and there's nothing there that really feels OP to him, which we can also agree on. With that question to the side, we do have another one here, and this one is about a horse stratagem. This user asked, horse stratagem when? The CEO responded with, mech horse, like that one from Animatrix. Okay, which one would you like to see more? A horse mech? Or possibly a bike stratagem? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Next up, the CEO was asked basically how the situation is at the studio, are they overworked, and he doesn't want them to feel burned out, I guess. And this is what the CEO responded with. Overall, it's headed in the right direction, but plenty of people are happy. Johan and some of the founders have been in a non-stop emergency mode since the studio's inception. Others have really worked hard for 8 years, with the immediate insanity of the launch cooling down and the honeymoon period ending. The focus is now to set ourselves up for a steady and good pace to keep the train going for a long while. That takes a bit of time. Avoiding burnout and finding a sustainable way of working is really the biggest challenge as we try to hit a good stride. My personal opinion on this, I think this is a great way to do it. Take your time with the patch, take your time with just about everything so you're not burning yourself out. I would imagine uploading a patch every week would definitely burn yourself out because, I mean, you have to reach a certain goal, right? You have to get everything done in order to release that patch the next week. So with this, it's good to see that they are taking their time and they're trying to figure things out, and that's absolutely awesome. And I cannot wait to see what Arrowhead does from here on out. So already, the CEO was asked basically about difficulty, will it increase? This is his response. Yeah, I think the motto is to make game for connoisseurs. Within that difficulty could be many things. I think that in a year's time, we'll see HD2 that allows for more variety and difficulty. Okay, so we're not receiving possibly any sort of difficulty modifier or any increase in difficulty anytime soon. Now that's alright because they do have to fix bugs up, they do need to bring more content, and I'm okay with the difficulty mode being put aside for at least a year or so. It's not a big deal for me personally. So anyways, that was the final question. We're now going to head over to the official Helldivers 2 Discord and take a look at this question that was asked about, feedback. Is there a way that the developers are willing to communicate? And this is the community manager's response to that. It's one of the biggest things we like to do. This and a roadmap are highest on our list of priorities. Without a doubt, this is something I would like to see. I'm sure a lot of you out here would like to see a roadmap because then we kind of have an idea on what to expect. And last but not least, I have heard that there's a glitch going around to where some of you out here on PC can summon down 2 exosuits. Now, there was a question asked over on the Helldivers 2 official Discord, and this is now in their new thread channel, which is called Frequently Asked Questions, and this is one of them. Why can't I equip 2 exosuit stratagems at once? This has to do with resource management from our code team lead. The mechs require a lot of system resources, significantly more than other stratagems, to the point where we need to keep a cap on vehicles in general to avoid further problems with stability and performance. We want to uncap the number of mechs vehicles, but more work is required on our end to make sure we can do that in a stable way. So right there, you can see that there's no way to basically, summon down 2 exosuits, but that apparently is not the truth. There is some sort of bug going on as of right now on PC where you can currently summon 2 stratagems. If you're on PC, definitely give it a go and try it out. With that being said, this is your Helldivers 2 news. If you guys would like to be featured in the next video, comment down below, because here's your top 3 comments. Starting off with number 1, we have Frisky Whiskey 9927. This user says, it's a shame Hellmire isn't on the list of planets to blow up. The second comment here is by Vladimir, and he says, the feeling when your tech can destroy planets with matter that creates black holes, but can't make powerful primaries. And the last and final comment here is by Tech Now Wills 1872, and this person says, that one guy who still has his super destroyed parked at Meridia after all dark fluid is injected. Hilarious stuff, guys. I appreciate all the comments. If you guys would like to speak your voice on the channel, comment down below. Thank you guys for the support and everything that you guys do. It truly means a lot to me, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.